So listen, Mason. When this popped up on my timeline, I started connecting the dots, and all things return or come from Detroit. So
Yes.
I reached out to my man, Piranhahead. That's for the people that know him musically. And he's connected to the song that won the Grammy, the one that actually played before this one from the Jaguar album. He did well, you know what? I'm going to let y'all hear, right?
No.
We can't let him hear?
No.
Okay, so listen.
Not yet.
Piranhahead is a musician. He a singer, vocalist, songwriter, a director,
And how long have you
orchestrator.
known him?
Oh, my goodness.
Dang,
how long I've been in the business? 30 years?
Yeah.
We used to,
Long
his
time.
locks come down to his waist. I knew him
Right.
when he had an afro.
Piranhahead, welcome to the
What
show.
up, though, y'all?
Welcome. All right. So we got you in here. First thing we want to know, did you receive any parts of the Grammy that Victoria Monet received?
I'll say this. I'm a participant on this Grammy-winning album, which I'm quite grateful for. God, I know the God that's in the blessing business, so I'm grateful to be on that and work with them. I mean, man, I swear that whole crew out there is just amazing. D-Mile, Victoria, Kyla, Michelle, all of them.
Where are they from?
They're in L.A.
They're from Los
They're in
Angeles
LA.
area.
But Vic came here the first time we worked with each other in 2019, going into 2020. She had a videographer come, and the videographer was connected to her cousin. I'm like, who's your cousin? And her cousin is Amir Abdullah, who was with the Lions, and he's now with the Raiders. So everything connected to Detroit, bro.
Wow.
Everything is, you dig? So,
Well, speaking of that, Piranhahead is your stage working number. Maurice is your first name.
how did Piranhahead get there?
Yeah, we'll start this way.
Okay.
What high school?
Southeastern,
You
East
went to
Side, all day. I used to wake up early, get dressed, brush my teeth, and I would be listening to the Mason. I would be listening to y'all.
There you go.
Hearing when y'all would do the wake up calls, and y'all called this white woman named Jane or something like that. And
You
she
remember
was-
those
oh,
wake
man,
up calls?
Come on,
Those
bro.
were different.
Look.
Ours were real.
Oh man, that's what I'm saying. Look, Mojo at night, Mason in the morning.
There you
Okay,
go. You
okay,
go back.
okay.
So you get into music how?
Just growing up on the East Side, God bless them, my mother, my sisters, and my brother, and
They were all into music?
Oh yeah, they went and bought records and things, and of course, as families, we would go to concerts, P-Funk and Prince. And
You
all
play
that.
what instruments?
I'm a guitarist, not first and foremost. That's like my thing. I used to play with bands like Enemy Squad, who were connected to P-Funk, Gabe Gonzalez, and Black Man, and all of them. Also did work with the great Amp Fiddler too. God
Rest
bless
in
him.
peace. Yes.
I'm telling you. So, I'm just grateful to even be in it. And from here. I got into string arranging later on, but the great, amazing Paul Reiser.
I was going to ask
Yes,
that.
Paul Reiser is my mentor.
No
Yes,
kidding.
he is. I'm his copyist. I'm like every single thing he do. I'm right there by his side. Have been for years. That's my main man.
Wow, that is an amazing story.
Yeah.
And so you follow in the footsteps of Paul Reiser, and now you're connected to a Grammy award-winning album.
Hey, man, just like I said, I know the guy that's in the blessing business, I did a lot of house music and stuff, too, in between, and when I was doing a lot of, in the dance music world, people like Divinity and myself, and, worked with Moody Man and all those cats, I was doing very musical kind of house music, but here in Detroit, we're kind of known for techno,
Right.
so, you know what I mean? It was,
Right.
a variable to that.
Wow. I got something I wanted to play, give people an example
Okay.
Also, quick question.
of you working.
What is that playing?
This is me.
So, like in bar
Make
33.
y'all hear it.
Oh, you can't hear it.
No, don't worry. No, that's perfect.
Okay.
Oh, it's perfect. Oh yeah, that's when I was working in New York with Frankie Zeffirino and those cats. Short, strong. Okay.
This is Piranhahead directing.
Okay.
I hope I do. Yep. That's number 2, right? Okay. Yeah, this is jam. I actually did production on this.
They're putting the strings to a song. That is beautiful. Wow.
I almost started crying.
Wow.
Thank you.
I mean,
I'm gonna send you that record.
We
too.
don't expect people from the neighborhood to be able to come up with that kind of work that we hear either in a movie or in a song. That is amazing. You're a guitarist. How did you and what made you fascinated about string instruments?
You know what? Because growing up black,
Yes.
we had music. If you listen to the stylistics, the
Yes.
dramatic, all of those records, Motown, all that, we had strings and then of course
You heard them when you were young?
Yeah, but
Meaning,
then-
meaning when I say you heard them, the strings.
it's the strings
You
and,
could
and
hear
just
that.
the instrumentation. And of course in like '86 when Prince decided to take everybody to Paris. And you know what I mean? He had the strings and all that type of stuff in all of them records, and everybody wanted to be him. You know what I mean?
There would be a what?
When them
Yeah,
folk.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but it just the instrumentation of like strings, horns, and things of that nature. That was just in natural music. So, hearing those parts is what I mean. Everything's not just beats. You know what I mean?
Wow. Coco, you got a question?
You know what, Mason, is interesting because I think I'm at the point where I really honor and respect craft and just every dynamic of life. And we don't understand how important music is for our soundtrack of our life. So when I started connecting the dots and I said, okay, listen, I've been knowing this cat forever. Like when we used to stand in front of clubs and talk and run our mouth to 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and then go to Greek Town and have breakfast and
At
then
Placcas.
Yeah, at Placcas, go to our own separate world. But I can appreciate the genius that this man has. Because I'm like, he been in my life all this time. And he always tell me, Coco, you could come over there, you could come and sit or whatever. But now I feel a sense of urgency just to come and be like the little kid and just sit in the corner and just watch you and your craft and what you do.
That's always welcome.
I
You know what I mean?
know,
Because I'm telling
I
you, like
know.
look. I mean, we came from the D.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We from it. So I
Absolutely.
mean, but that's the thing. Detroit public schools, we used to learn music.
Come
theory.
on, talk
we
about
did.
it.
We did.
You know what I mean? Our education in
Yeah.
our neighborhoods from our people is what
Yeah.
taught us the black excellence that we have.
Yeah.
Wow. It's amazing.
Yeah.
To
So
hear you
I
do
got a
that.
question. How do you, because I watched your video.
Okay.
And 99.99% of the musicians they don't have to use a straightening comb. They don't look like us. How does, no, because I understand, and this is the part that is interesting for us. We don't understand or respect or honor the creativity from our community and neighborhood, and then we get mad when other folks come in and can respect it and honor it. How does that go together? Like, I know people beating your door down because they want to work with the Piranhahead when it comes to music.
Well,
What is that selection process like?
Well, the person who I do call, John Madison, I think he's a principal violist for like the DSO or the Mission Theater. That person always gets.
Okay.
I never ask specifically for colors per se,
Right,
or
right.
whatever.
Right.
Just give me whoever it is that can
Okay,
do this.
okay.
As you know, and
As a
that's
talent.
what Paul Reiser is like. Yeah, man, you need to get symphony players.
Okay,
Call this person.
okay.
So, the thing is, I do want to see more of us.
I got
in
you.
those seats.
Well, you got them in this clip. It looks like
Yeah,
you went and got
that-
school kids,
Yeah,
African American looking school kids
that. Oh, you mean in that clip that you just played?
to pull off
That's in
this
New
session.
York.
This is New York.
That's
too.
New York. I
Hold
was
on,
in New York.
Hold on 1 second. They look like children, and he's directing. That's amazing. That is beautiful too, and it looks again. It looks like you're directing kids. It's just an astounding thing, man.
You
I
read
love
music.
I do.
What do you say to aspiring young folks out there that want to get in the music industry and produce?
Try and understand what production is, and things like music theory. I mean, even if you don't know how to read everything note for note, at least try to figure out what the keys are, or know just even basic theory. You know what I mean? Those types of those who studied in school, studying music theory, they were better at math. They were better at science. They were better at all those things, and it was a full education. Them taking away music from our schools helped us decline in math, science, English, and all those types of things.
Absolutely.
And killed our education. So then now we have to make sure that we bolster that education. That's the reason why I'm grateful for people like Paul Reiser helping me to do these things and all this, which helps me pass it on to the next generation.
Wait! I want to hear this.
Yes! Love it!
That is him. And
That is
what the hell
that
he
is-
did.
That's what he did.
Victoria
That's
Monet.
And that's,
amazing.
you know what,
Wow,
Mason?
that's
When he
beautiful.
talks about math, you're right. Because I was, I'm 122 years old, but we had to learn how to count in order to sight read.
Yes.
Because I used to sing. So you
Yes.
had to know how to count.
Music is
Four,
math.
four this and that. You
There
had
you
to know
go.
syncopated and all of that. So
Eighth
you had
notes,
to know how to
16th
count.
notes, 32nd
yeah,
notes.
you
You
had
got-
to have some
you
grasp
had
of
to-
basic
yeah.
math. Because my
Okay.
choir director, daughter Melody McCulley, Gloria McCulley was my choir director. So you had to know
yeah.
how to sight read and count. They don't have no incentive now.
You know what? If I mean, I don't care who hears me say this, but the thing is, when they took that away, they could take away other things, and now they can control.
That's right.
Let's
They,
get
control,
Jay.
they can control a situation now. If you don't know how to use your money, that means you don't know how to build your businesses.
You know what? That's why I love you.
You
Trying to
gonna
You
answer
say what?
understand me?
That's
That's
it.
what it is.
That's what. Listen, that's what it is.
Back to being able to read music. When I did my Tina Turner show on cruise ships, I had to have my whole show on sheet music. And what I noticed with the orchestra that they had for me was all of the members had to know how to read. And they were always looking for musicians that knew how to read
That's it.
music. So when you say that, that is so important.
These musicians that I hire, that John hires for me, they come in and they sit down and just literally.
Yeah.
The first time that when they played that, that's the first time they.
That's my
the
point,
first time
yeah.
they played that. That's
Wow.
literally. They looked at
Wow.
that music. Okay, I went through it. Okay, you guys ready? Yeah, sure, no problem.
Yep.
Bam, done.
Wow.
And they get paid.
Oh yeah, they do. But say it the right way. They get paid.
They
Yeah,
get paid. Hey, look at him.
Listen.
Paid, baby.
I know.
Because they can read music.
Yeah, and it's
they
money
can
for that
read-
because a
and it's
lot of
skills.
artists, they say, oh, they could play by ear. Playing by ear is cool in the hood,
Right.
And it's cool.
And it has its place.
It has
Right.
its place. But when you talking about a real choir
Yeah.
or a real band,
That's right.
when they throw that sheet in front of you, you got to be able to like, okay, wait a minute. Especially when you got the ear in your ear and they tell me, okay, we need a 5, we need a 4, whatever. You got to,
of those
yes,
things.
yes.
Then you excel.
Yeah.
You see what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
the check
That-
look different.
And that's
The check
it
look
right
different.
there.
Barry White used to say he would walk 13 miles to his violinist who could put his humming into sheet music.
That's right.
And that's how he did every song. He would go to this guy.
Between him and Gene Page. Now,
Yeah, Gene
Page.
Page,
Ooh,
who
was
did
Gene
all
Page
of
was
the
gone.
Know
Philadelphia,
your music.
Philadelphia International. Gene Page.
Like Benjamin Wright, my other friend out in L.A. That's my main man. Benjamin, he did all on Don't Stop Till You Get It. You know what I mean?
I was going to say, and I will not leave out Greg Fillingham.
Yeah, oh my God, that's my
Michael
brother. Your
Jackson
twin?
would not work without Greg. Yes, Michael would
Just
not.
say it.
I'm not going to do anything. Where's Greg?
Where's Greg? That's right.
Like Mike, we can go without him. That's the Detroit guy. No. You don't understand. I need Greg.
I need
if
Greg.
Greg's not here, I'm not going to get it right.
I just saw him at NAMM. Every year I go to NAMM, to the NAMM show in
Wow.
Anaheim. And every year I see Stevie, Greg Fillingham, and all the people who worked on Thriller and all
Yeah.
those records. Oh my God, man. It's just, it's
You
an
know,
amazing thing.
when I would talk to Greg about working with Michael Jackson, it was like that didn't happen. It's just something I did. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Thanks, Piranhahead, for
Man,
coming
thank you,
in
my
this
brother.
morning.
And
I'm so
anytime.
grateful. I'm so grateful to have to be here, man. Thank you so much.
You are an honor for all of us.
Yeah.
Man, don't make me.
And
cry, man.
you are part of music history
Thank you
forever.
so much, my brother.
And
I'm so
thank you.
grateful
And
for
to come
Thank
out
you.
of the neighborhoods of Detroit and do this kind of work, we are super thick
That's
proud.
right.
Thank you so
That's
much.
right.
Piranhahead
you,
from
man.
Detroit.
Piranhahead.
All right, man. Yeah.